We are continuing our studies in Yacov, and the last video we did was regarding dreams and interpretation of dreams. Well, Yacov continues this thought of the interpretations of dream, in particular of Bar Chedya. We're on page 53 in Yacov, and we're continuing to look at the Berachot that Yacov is talking about in Berachot 55b. The Gemara relates an incident to illustrate the saying that all dreams follow the mouth of the interpreter. That's why we have to be very careful who we share our dreams with and how they may interpret it. Bar Chedya was an interpreter of dreams, and if you paid, he gave a favorable interpretation. So this was apparently an aspect where you made a living with. So Reb Chedya, if you paid, would give you a very favorable interpretation. And Rabbi Chedya was an interpreter of dreams, and if you paid him, he gave a favorable interpretation. But if you did not pay him, he gave you an unfavorable interpretation. Abaye and Rava each had a dream. Abaye gave him a zuz. But Rava did not give him any money. Whoa, Rava. They told him in our dream we had to read the verse, "Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will not eat from it." This is based on Deuteronomy 28, verse 31. To Rava, who did not pay him, he said, "Your business will fail, and you will be so upset that you will not have appetite to eat." So Abaye, who paid him, said, "Your business will prosper, and you will be overjoyed that you will not be able to eat." And they said to him, in our dream, we had read the verse that just was indicated here, that all the nations of the world will realize that God's name is associated with you, and they will be afraid of you. Deuteronomy 28, verse 10. And to Abaye he said, "Your name will become famous as head of a yeshiva, and you will be greatly feared." To Rava he said, "The king's treasury will be broken into, and you will be arrested as a thief, and everyone will draw an inference from you saying, 'If Rava is suspect, then surely we are.'" The next day the king's treasury was burglarized, and they came and arrested Rava. Rava went to him alone and told him, "I dreamed that the outer door of my house fell off." And he said to him, Your wife will die." And Rava then said, I saw that my front and back teeth fell out." He said, "Your sons and your daughters will die." And he said, "I saw 2 pigeons flying." He said, "You will divorce 2 wives." I tell you, this is not a good interpretation. I'm here reading this and I laugh because really the dream goes by the interpreter. And he said to him, "I saw 2 turtle-nipped tops." And he said, "You will hit 2 times with a stick, or you will be hit 2 times with a stick." And then the day Rava went and sat all day in the Beit HaMikdash, there were 2 blind people who were fighting with one another. And Rava went to separate them, and they hit him 2 times. They want to hit him again, but Rava said, 2 times is enough. And I saw it in my dream. You can't hit me again. Finally, Rava gave Bar Chedya a fee. He said to him, "I dreamed that I saw a wall fall down." And he replied, "You will become extremely wealthy. Nothing will stand in your way." And he said to him, "In my dream I saw my own villa collapse, and everyone came and took a brick." And he said, "Your teachings will be spread throughout the world." Bar Chedya and Rava were once traveling together in a ship. And Bar Chedya said to himself, "Why should I go with a person to whom a miracle will happen? We will be in danger, and he will be saved through a miracle, but I will not." As Bar Chedya disembarked, he dropped a book. Rava found it and saw it written, "All dreams go according to the interpretation." Rava exclaimed, "Wretch that you are, it all depended on you, and you gave me all this pain." He was blaming Chedya for all of his sorrow because he allowed him to interpret and didn't pay him, and didn't give him money for the interpretation. "And I forgave you everything for what you have said about my wife, whose death Bar Chedya had predicted. May it be God's will that you will fall into the hands of the government, and that they will have no mercy on you." Whoa, this is hard. And now we're in Berachot 56b. Bar Chedya was executed by the Romans. They tied together 2 cedars with a rope and tied one of Bar Hedya's leg into one cedar and the other, and they released the rope so that each tree rebounded to its own place, and he was decapitated, and his body was split in two. This is a horrible fate over the issue of interpreting negative because he didn't receive any pay. And from this we learned that what Rava had said about his daughter was in fact what Rava's wife, according to the notes in Yacov. This teaches us that we have to be very careful and what and how we interpret other people's dreams if they have the confidence in us to speak about their dreams to us. Always interpret favorable the dreams that someone shares with you, so that your end will not be that of Rabbi Chedya. Shalom, shalom, and Shabbat shalom to all of you. We will continue to study Bezrat Hashem in Ein Yacov.